Good afternoon. Welcome to OptionsTender. It's after hours here, looking at Thursday, July 30th, 2026. So just a quick update. Doing a little bit different work here, showing you ES, and then we'll go to Apple and Amazon, and then we'll check up on SPX and see how that looks. Right now we're on the 4-hour. I use the 4-hour chart for the futures, and yes, in the Discord, if you want to join one of the memberships, $10 a month. The Discord comes with it, and I do post in the futures as well. We trade micro futures also. So let's dive into it. We have ES. I'm showing a descending triangle. I know that a lot of people have a triangle built in here. I was expecting a bounce. We got that bounce after some whipsaw yesterday. Big moves. One move from when the Fed chairman was talking, and then afterwards a complete drop down to support. And this is where we're getting our bounce off today. So structure looks, well, it looks like it could be a couple different things. You have a possible ABC here. Maybe we get a pullback and then we get a C wave. So a larger degree A, B, and C. This could just consolidate right here at the 50%, give us a shallow pullback, and then complete your wave at one of these two levels here, going into our VIX cycle low to minor low out in next Wednesday, the 5th. So that's what we're looking for. But nevertheless, we're looking for a rejection at some point here for a descending triangle and then a breakdown from that. All right. So after hours, we had Apple reporting, clear breakdown, back test of this trend here. And I think Apple may have a possibility of a bounce or so with the rest of the market, but definitely going to, well, I don't want to say definitely. Anything can happen after hours, but looking like it's going to gap down tomorrow, this move here. And then to counter that move, we have Amazon with a nice big move off of a downtrend here. All right, so this to me, I feel like this is an impulse wave, and we have an A, B, and what we're getting up here is a C, and this could float around a little bit higher going into the next couple to few trading days. So just a flat pattern, and I feel like this will roll over eventually as well. That might actually set up as a really good short coming up here soon. Now, okay, moving on to SPX here. We have the keep it simple, stupid chart. Do we go up to the top level here? I doubt it, but that is a possibility. Now, somebody was asking me, well, the diamond, if you drew two more lines here, the diamond or the triangle broke down. So isn't that bearish? I said, well, not so much, because I wasn't looking at it as that. I know that was the majority of people, that this is what they were looking for. But just like you saw in ES, I'm looking for a little bit more of a level like this. And you can draw that any which way you want, but here's a big level right here, and ultimately you have a descending triangle. So you can, here's what I showed in one of the members' videos as well. I said, well, our original triangle went all the way up here. You know, you had this fake break right down here, and then you broke down from that triangle, back tested, kept going. So I said, in order to fill these gaps here, well, you know, you could back test this triangle as well, and you can even poke through here. I just don't like the whole limitation. See, trading with technicals and charts, you draw these lines, and it gives you a visual, an optical view of what's happening in the market. And if you're specifically putting this in here, then you're giving yourself a barrier, and you may have even shorted the gap right at the open, okay? Because you said, oh, well, that was just back testing. Well, I mean, possible, but now it regained there. So is that a fake break and we hit the top of the range? Could be. We have two gaps that are open that we talked about in the last video. I still think that we fall down here to test the wedge at some point. All right, let's go to the public view. Here's sort of what we're looking for here. After a bounce, a move back down here. Do we come underneath and back test, or do we hit it, bounce, and then break down? This is what we're going to look for. This is going to be a very important area around the 7,100 to 7,200 area. And then obviously there's a bullish aspect. That's why I keep these arrows here. If we were to get on top of this flag and then stay on top, you look for a breakout at that point. Looking at some of the, here's your moving averages. Okay, so we're fighting with the 8 moving average, but you know, the tail that wags the dog, it's important to look at the NASDAQ and the semiconductors. So we're deep in looking into that all day yesterday and the day before. And we had a big lift off of those. And we're pushing now into the 50 and the 20. And I think that's a good area to take profit. And price might go just a little bit further. And what we showed earlier today was when you have the situation, how fast and how hard a squeeze can be. You could have, this was just our first day, folks. You know, now obviously it's going to peter off, but we could have 1 or 2 more days that we squeeze higher and close this one gap. I think that's the easier trade. And then the next one could happen, but doesn't have to. Okay, so here's our options tender. And again, what we talked about, the reason why I'm doing this again is we had positive divergence here. We were looking for this to cycle higher. Now, clearly it gave us a false move here at first, and now it's starting to rise. I do think we get a cycle up higher. And it might be a downtrend because we had this negative divergence right here. So we might get a lower high up towards the higher end of this boundary. And then we're going to be testing back here, but nothing significant in my opinion. And then we head back lower on this daily time frame. I think we hit the lower end of the boundary somewhere down in this box between 7,000 and 6,800. And that's assuming that this breaks down at 7,200. All right, nothing else to update with any of those. Let's go to VIX. All right, we use VIX as a timing tool if you're new here. And if you're continuing to follow, this is exactly what we talked about, was this area, this declining minor phase. I do expect to find a low. Now we're closing into the gap. We do have a slight little gap underneath. And I'm looking for the lows here anytime next week. Anytime next week, we'll be in this window for VIX cycle low, where then I think this next one is going to play out and actually close this gap up top here. It could be where we get a little bit more chop. You notice this huge range here that we've been in for a while. We could get a little bit of a little bit more chop in this declining phase here. So maybe we'll have a rising phase and then chop a little bit more, set up, and then boom. All right. So the market has a tendency to move and then to consolidate for a while. Now we're forming a top in the market, so that takes time. All right. So 8.5 is our key spot, which is next Wednesday, to look for a VIX cycle low, which means a top in the market. SPY. And here's SPY on the 65, and it gives you a little bit better view of why we think that there's going to be a local top, not a new top, not an all-time high, but just a retracement. Okay, we had we're looking for this to hold today. We had a 1-2 setup. Get rid of this. So our retracements, we did have the retracement all the way back here. this could be the case. This still can be. So I know that we talked about different ways to count things. Here, if you leave this as the bottom, perfect retracement to close the gap, perfect retracement to close the gap. Fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move. Well, what does that mean then? Then you'd have to count this as a B wave, where you have an A, B, C for B, and then you're getting your C wave up here. And so if this is a straight shot to these targets and you don't get much of it, so this would be a 1, 2 right here, a really small 2 wave. And if this continues to just be relentless and just grind higher straight up, then this was an expanded flat. Okay? It doesn't matter to me how this is counted. We saw the bullish divergence. We saw what's happening. You could count this as a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. There's many ways. It's all speculative, but either way, it's to give you structure. When it comes to the Fibonacci, I like this the best. That this is the low, and it fits perfectly that you would close this gap at 748 and then go on to about 750, where price has been rejected for quite some time. Here's your moving averages. We're fighting from underneath. We got that cycle higher. Is this going to continue to grind and get stuck up here for a while? That's what I'm kind of thinking right now. Now, you could, if this was the actual low for a wave count, meaning wave 1 is right here, then, you still could get an A, a B, and then a C. We're not overbought. We're just now getting out of positive divergence, but it has not played out yet. Okay, so we should see overbought situation. We should probably get all the way up here to the 70 to 80 area in the RSI before reversing again. And I could see that just constant grind, 2-3 more days, just straight up, gap up, and pause, gap and pause. We're starting to get the bullish momentum to the upside on the hourly. Bollinger Band, we got the buy signal here. We're not overbought. We're not in a sell position yet. We are still in the lower high, so that has some work to do to get above there to beat this trend. But we're already getting kind of past this this downtrend line right here. So if you line those up, we're right at it. If you line up the bottom portions, we're just now peaking above it. So we'll keep an eye on this. All right, D-Mark Elliott oscillator, that could have told us, yeah, the Elliott oscillator told us that we were bottoming out here and that we're to get a bounce. D-Mark gave us a 13 cell exhaust signal, which did give us a large bounce and then failed underneath it, and now we're going back higher. All right, so let's revisit our VIX pathway and see if we need to adjust this in any way. So there's our VIX cycle low. Here's our peak here. Now, I thought it was going to be that peak. Clearly, we got another little peak, but same game plan. I'm looking to close this gap, finish closing this gap, and then finish closing this gap down here going into next week. Early to mid next week to close these gaps, and then we should start to look for a reversal in the market. Okay. We don't have any patterns to really look at here yet. We might end up getting some sort of diagonal down here. We shall see, but this is still the pathway. Down to close gaps, up to close the next gap. All right. So thanks for joining us here at OptionsTender. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.